Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of Operation Bonebox, which is our Delta Green game playing the Iconoclasts campaign. I'm Andy, and I'm the game handler, and I shall start by introducing to my players. So let's start with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm playing a CIA agent, codename Agent Khar.
Nick,
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm playing a pararescue jumper, Agent Pink.
Marc,
Hi, I'm Marc. I'm playing a Green Beret special operative and Agent Sandman.
B,
Hi, I'm B. I'm playing Agent Hawk, an ICE Federal agent.
and unfortunately Bruce is unavailable. But lastly, Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm playing Agent Farmer, who is an ONI officer.
Okay, right. So just to refresh where you were, so you're attempting to infiltrate into Mosul for the purposes of reconning the ground and figuring out where the father of war might be, possibly looking for allies, possibly checking on what you think is what has become known as the Russian team, where their base, which is still under observation of your drone. So just to refresh everyone, you are at this crossroads here, which is just where we left off. There's just been some mayhem of what you're guessing is an attack by some members of one or other of the Mosul battalions, fighting against the Islamic State Daesh people in occupying Mosul. And what you saw was a couple of people firing some AKs into a sort of Daesh office or organize. I suppose office would be the right word. Possibly recruiting location might be another word for it. And they then threw some petrol bombs in. There was a bit of a firefight. Some people came out to shoot at them. There were a couple of people on some roofs shot down at the Daesh people who came out the building. A lot of shooting, not a lot of people being hit. A lot of mayhem. You were in the middle of a traffic jam at the time, and you successfully used the chaos plus your plus the IDs you've got, which should it become relevant, and you have to remember what those were. But you've got some IDs of one of the sort of Daesh sort of internal police type units, and you're heading from this crossroads here, heading on this road, sort of just northish. Okay. What is your plan?
I think the plan was to swing by the warehouse
And do a drive-by and see it.
Just drive by and see it, see if we can actually get a better layout, and then decide if we're going to go into it or not, and then go over the bridge into Nineveh itself.
Yep. Okay. We should just refresh your memory and my memory. You've got two two Toyota Hilux pickups in a suitably beaten up condition. The lead one has got I believe it's an RPK machine gun mounted.
Some sort of machine gun.
Some sort of machine gun mounted. Who is in which vehicle? I think you had 3 and 3.
I seem to remember I was driving one of them, but I couldn't tell you whether it was the one with the machine gun or not.
Nick, do you remember?
Uh,
I think we had one of the actual squaddies who have got experience with heavy weapons riding in the back
yeah.
of that one, but that was not me.
Well, I believe that was it might have. Might have been Sandman. I don't have any heavy weapons training. I
think
know
it
that
was me?
much.
I have, haven't I?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're the person with the heavy weapons.
Oh,
So
go on then.
yeah,
Somebody else can drive.
so right. I seem to remember because the problem you've got is one of your best drivers is actually Agent
Also
Hawk,
Sandman.
but Agent Hawk being female is not allowed to drive because this is
No,
the
I'm
cruel death.
disguised as a dude.
You're disguised as a man. You
I'm-
are.
Um,
That's how we
I'd
got
forgotten
around.
that.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'd
that's how we
forgotten
got
that.
around having
Wait.
Sandman in the machine
Right,
gun because
so-
I'm our other driver. I know that much.
Right. So Hawk is driving the lead vehicle with
I'm in the
Sandman
passenger seat.
with that Sandman in the back able to man the machine gun, and I think Khar is the passenger.
Mm,
So
Yep.
um,
Scans. Yes.
so I think it was that Hawk is sorry, not Hawk. Pink is driving the second vehicle, and
Yes.
I think that Jones is in the passenger seat and Farmer is on the back.
Correct.
Yep.
That sounds
Because
right.
I've got
yes.
some training, whereas Jones has got nothing.
Right. Yes.
Jones has got more than nothing. Jones is not incompetent. He just doesn't like doing it.
Yeah.
He has had some
Right.
training, clearly. Right.
He's a combat
Combat
archaeologist.
archaeologist,
Yes,
anyway.
combat archaeologist.
Yeah.
Yes.
The combat
Uh,
archaeologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to say one thing about this red dot for this warehouse here, I've slightly misplaced that. It's actually further north, right on the road. So going down this road, you are literally driving past it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, what route do you want to take going north from here?
From where? Sorry, from
Going north from the crossroads. Are you
Okay.
going up to this roundabout and then down the road here past? Is that your plan?
well, look. If I've got any knowledge of the area at all, I'll use my gut feel, combination of my gut feeling and familiarity with this situation with my local knowledge. I mean, you know, I'm supposing my character knows this place quite well, but my instinct would be just to take the easiest route and go on the main roads.
That is
No, turn right before that. Actually, there's a major-ish looking road on the way, about halfway, a bit before halfway.
So you mean turn right here
Yes.
and then switch? So you go around the back of the warehouse and then across. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That way.
No, we'll be going above. So we're going up.
Well, we can turn off the minor roads on the way to go behind. I think probably go in front of it first, and then
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
we don't want to drive around it too much. So
Okay. Right. Okay. You right. You head up to this crossroads here and take a right on this still quite a main road. And the traffic is still quite heavy, but as you get off this main road, it starts to get lighter. But it is there is still traffic, and there is definitely quite a tension to the air there. There's sort of dogs running around barking. There's people scuttling around. People don't seem to want to stay on the street very much. And as you're heading down here, you sort of possibly realize why when someone takes a shot at the lead vehicle, and Sandman, you're on the back. A bullet pings off the bed of the back of the truck, a couple of feet from you.
And he's, my God, like flinch reaction and duck. Am I wide open, basically on the back of a pickup truck?
Give me a actually, sorry, what is your is it alertness or is it observation? What is it in this? Sorry, I am
There's alertness.
alertness
51.
51.
51.
Give me an alertness check, please.
Gosh, okay. It's
someone up on a roof to the right of you. Driving past is simply the best strategy. To get at them is just to accelerate and get past them.
got a chance of like bringing the machine gun round to bear and just give him a bit of.
Am I aware of this, Andy? I presume I am. I'd have heard it, wouldn't I?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll call out. Don't respond. Don't respond. Drivers, just get us away.
All right, let's drive.
Okay.
Sandman says, get you next time.
Nothing will give us away quicker than a excellent display of marksmanship.
There's another shot that doesn't hit that doesn't even hit your vehicle.
Take cover. Just get me head down.
And as they drive past, there's then another shot that farmer on the back. You're on the back of the second vehicle. There's that zipping noise of a bullet passing somewhere relatively close to you.
This is past you.
And you it doesn't need a skill check. You can actually see there's a guy, someone bobbing up, taking a quick shot, bobbing down again. Just seems to be randomly shooting at you.
Yeah, no, absolutely fine. Just hunker down, put my Bergen on top of me.
Okay.
Just,
To explain to Sandman, a expertly placed group of 3 shots in his chest would possibly be a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just an instinct. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. My apologies for having to stop you. Right.
Yeah.
And then you take this turning to the left here, and then head up past the warehouse. And this road does actually now. There is a handout. Where are we? Oh, too many handouts. Sorry.
It's a lot of handouts.
Well, it's handouts this time, not tabs.
There's a handout which gives a map of the aerial view of the Russian base, the warehouse, and I can't find it.
We've seen it, haven't we?
Surely not.
Oh
wait.
I think we did because of
actually,
the
yeah.
drone
Yeah,
over
the drone.
You've got the,
I'm not seeing it anywhere. Got a picture of a cat. Well,
It's that
used by
cat.
Russian trade. They're under,
that's it.
under other handouts.
Oh, what a
found it. Just found
Oh
it. Right.
yeah.
So
Warehouse.
this is it. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I see it back away from the street.
Okay. So that road that you're coming up actually passes somewhere off the left-hand side of this picture. It's quite a big scale, that. So that road you're coming up doesn't give you any view of the warehouse. But then the main road that just to the north of the red dot is the road on the top of this picture. Okay, so you don't.
Well, navigate our course so that we kind of make a half circle around the building. You know.
Okay. Okay. So when you as you're right, I can't ping on this map. Do you see the picture where it says road entrance and there's an arrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
You end up driving past there and sort of taking the chance to glance down the road.
Okay.
And between you, some of you will spot the sort of the building that's marked at the warehouse. The top left corner, you spot a sort of armed guard in a fairly obviously in a window watching that road entrance. Yeah, man standing there, the outline of an AK held. Yeah.
Okay.
Looking to all intents and purposes like a local. Okay.
But like definitely looking at that area.
Clearly
just on
watching
watch.
that road entrance. Yeah.
Sentry duty.
Yeah. Now, and you sort of carrying along this road. Do you then want to? Right, going back to the map a sec.
I'm going to want to make some stops that are frustrating to the others.
What do you want to do?
I want to tap out some of my contacts from when I was operating in this area. This is not necessarily. This is general information gathering. I just want to find out the lay of the land, anything that's been going on that we might not have heard about.
Right. So.
So, go to the market or something like that and speak to some merchants who I know are a bit loose-lipped and.
Okay.
I'm just thinking also the immediacy of this warehouse, because it wasn't our primary target, but there's lots of rough ground on various different approaches. If we kind of figure on the picture to the south and east of it, there's lots of potential approach ways that you could just sort of get a bit closer to it and suss it out and look and see how many people are actually there. I think probably by night time is probably our best option as well.
That's right. There is 40 metres of open ground, the south and east, however.
Yeah.
If you went through the buildings to the north of it, you might, well, you're the tactician.
Yeah, depending on dogs and other bits and pieces. But yeah, there's potential that we got several ways in, plus an alleyway off to the...
For observation, I think you're right,
west.
definitely.
Yeah.
And, to be honest, I wouldn't even go in at night. You go in at dusk or dawn because it messes with people's eyesights, and night vision is useless.
Yeah.
And if they're as good as we think we are, no.
You have not brought. You've not all brought night vision. The only night vision capability you've brought with you is Agent Pink has got.
Yeah, no. I'm thinking of them having night vision, spotting us in the dark. Whereas if we go during twilight hours, then the night vision will have no effect whatsoever.
Especially the Russian stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So if we're going to do it, then we do it dawn or dusk.
Okay. Right.
Okay. We now got a bit more of a lay. I say we get a little bit of info and then head off to Nineveh.
Okay. So
that was to the rest of the team.
Yeah. Is that the plan?
Yeah. Roger.
Okay. So.
I think tapping at the local contacts as well is a great idea, because we've got a period of time to sort of fill and actually gather some local intel.
Right. Agent Khar, you direct people to. Do you see where I'm pinging on the map? Sorry, if I put you on you're on this map. Yes, good. You direct people to somewhere in the middle of this area here, where you know there is an open air market. Okay. And driving up there, it is immediately noticeable to you that there is less activity in this market than you would have expected. There are still people trading here, people buying and selling things, but it's very, very much focused now around food and water, and then other supplies, things like batteries and things like that. It's sustenance type material.
Okay.
Now, can you give me a tradecraft roll, which is for you is it's additional skill you've got. It's linked to your intelligence. You automatically can see this is purely a roll to see the level of success. Okay, so you didn't get You didn't. Yeah. So you got a success, but you didn't get a special success. Okay. Right. So
I didn't get a double, no.
you did get double. So it takes you about an hour to come across someone that you knew reasonably well to talk to, and who's pleased to see you and chatty.
Good.
What kind of stuff you're trying to find out? So what's going on? So much of it
Well,
is
I want to go on.
no. You've got specific
I
areas you want
want
to lead
to.
the conversation to.
I specifically want to lead the question towards things that are of direct interest to us in our investigation. I want so the mutilations that we've been hearing about from US intelligence services, the unusual number of disappearances and things, and what else was there, guys? Anything? Anything?
Wasn't it just up the
The
Nineveh?
Anything?
theory.
Anything unnatural and anything weird? Okay, anything that might be seen as unnatural or weird.
Surely a lot of the
Anything strange
skimmings.
happening in Nineveh, and this colonel that's gone missing, and the things I want to ask about. But I obviously won't dive into
Yeah.
those conversations straight away. I will broadly talk around made up set of things that I've been doing around the city and outside the city, and
Certainly, right. So, without going through in detail the conversation there,
it'll probably take about an hour.
yeah, well, yeah. So it takes an hour to meet someone, and then you're chatting for a good half an hour at least. Right. So, there were a spate of very gruesome murders a few days, weeks ago. But they've stopped now. Uh, the story going round is that it was an American CIA psychological warfare team who were trying to scare people. But your contact says he doesn't believe that. He thinks it was internal fighting between factions within Daesh. Okay.
Okay.
But they all seem to have stopped. There are lots of people. There are definitely stories about people going missing, but it's hard to say what that means.
Yeah, in the circumstances.
Yeah, there are definitely people are deciding to try and make a break from it and escape as refugees. Though if you're caught trying to do that, then you can quite possibly be executed.
You know.
There are people being but sometimes it's like one or two members of a family go missing and others are left behind, and that's weird. It's when a whole family goes missing, it's probably them running for it. When a single member goes missing, something odd is going on. But your contact is fairly convinced it's either fighting amongst Daesh factions, or it's forced recruitment into fighting units of young men, because a lot of the people going missing are young men. They're definitely fighting age, and a lot of them are in. He's heard stories about people who are Daesh fighters who go missing, and he thinks they're just being sort of almost forced to go and fight in one unit rather than another, and that's the whole thing. But the whole city is just chaotic. Okay, Nineveh. He doesn't know much about Nineveh itself. He's heard
Fair enough.
that there's been some destruction of the Daesh has been destroying some of the ruins there because they're idolatrous and they're connected to gods who are against the Quran and stuff like that. But the area around Nineveh is quite dangerous because there's these things called the Mosul battalions that are and they're centered around the Mosul University, and he's heard that a lot of them are connected to the former university students, and they're quite fanatical and quite active in attacking Daesh units. Okay. In fact, he's heard a story about just a few blocks to the west, a Daesh office was firebombed this morning.
Yeah, heard about that.
West to the west was that?
Yes. That's where,
Yes,
Of
it's
the
where we
ruins.
came in.
It's right everywhere.
no, west of where you are now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Obviously, yeah, we're in the market, but that's kind of where we were. We
Yeah,
witnessed it.
here, and that firebombing was just about here. So
Mhm.
he appears to be
Gotcha,
referencing
gotcha.
what you witnessed.
What we've already
Actually
witnessed.
caught up in.
Yeah. Uh,
Nothing superstitious or unusual sounding like that.
no, he doesn't appear to be someone who
Okay.
puts much weight on that. Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
go confirmed a couple of things that we knew, guys. A little bit of supposing, but okay, right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Didn't
So
have as much
yeah,
as I hoped it would.
you
Use the opportunity to paint simply a more complete picture so that I can then feed that back into the apparatus when we get
yeah,
back.
certainly.
I don't think we've got anything decisively useful there. I think, right, next we either want to look at this missing kernel or pay a visit to Nineveh and see what's what there.
Mm-hmm.
It's one and the same. Let's go.
Let's go then.
In that time that we've spent in the market,
Yep.
Well, I've come back with
have-
a lot of strange-looking vegetables and
I think we might all
other
have.
bits and pieces that went out. Yeah.
Just to be clear,
um,
sorry, I'll come to you sec, Tom. Apologies. Yes, you can have bought some food. It is very expensive.
Yeah, to have been kept the guy interested in talking to me for half an hour, I thought I'd have to have bought some food.
Not
So
not just that, but everywhere
yeah.
the food is at a premium now. Just for clarity. Sorry, Tom. What were you about to say?
I just wanted to see if we'd had any more reports about anything happening. Because we've had an hour and a half. So I can go to like if there's a little area I can use the laptop, or if we've got any reports coming back from people back at our base, or the drone reports, anything like that. Just general update.
Where are you going to open the laptop? Because that's quite a rare item in Mosul.
In Mosul itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I can probably sit in the cab of the pickup,
And just keep
if
it
there's
down,
nowhere
down,
that
down
is,
low.
yeah.
Okay. Right. There. The only report you've got is that probably, but timing-wise, it's when you were trying to extricate yourself from the traffic jam and the attack on Daesh at this crossroads. At about that time, a a vehicle you haven't seen before, almost like a sort of minibus style van. Okay,
An
left.
ice cream truck.
No, not an ice cream truck. Left the warehouse here and has and headed east. And
Towards the river.
towards the river. Hang on a sec. I need to make. You have not got a right. The only drone you had a drone watching Rassam's house and the Russian team that went there, but you then released that once you knew what they were doing. So you've only got
Yes.
one drone observing the warehouse, right? So agents Juliet and Stuart were able to organise a second drone that has followed that
Minibus.
minibus, and it has crossed over the river on this bridge here,
Okay.
and appears to be heading now into the same sort of area you're intending on going, the southern end of the Ruins of Nineveh.
Yeah. Okay. Make sure everyone's up to date on that.
Yeah.
How many did we see at any point? How many people are in that minibus?
No, it's an aerial top-down view.
And nobody got in it. The actual thing drove out of the warehouse.
They appear. Their MO has always been for vehicles to be full of people. Sorry, everyone to be in the vehicle when it leaves the warehouse.
Yeah.
Someone closed the warehouse door behind them, so there's clearly someone still in the warehouse. And this occurred before you did your drive-by viewing, so that guard was clearly not. It's before that guard was. Sorry, the guard is still there clearly, and you have observed that they've observed a driver. There's clearly someone driving, and then there's someone who sort of they can see an elbow of someone from the passenger seat, but that's it.
Yeah.
But it's a sort of little van or minibus type thing. Looks fairly battered, nondescript. Okay.
Yeah, no
Are we
problem.
chasing that?
Make sure everyone's aware of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now the problem, unless you're keeping the laptop open or some other communications open to your base, you can't get any updates on what's happening with that. So,
well, they've got my they've got the telephone number anyway, so mobile phones are still fairly common.
Okay.
So they've got my telephone number.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So you pack away the laptop and you start getting a series of text messages with updates.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Right. Where do you want to try and cross over the river? The same bridge they went, or a different one? Or...
I think we should be going across the next one up personally, because we're in here, aren't we?
Yep. So crossing on this one here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure that anyone's familiar with, alert anyone to anything I know about difficulties of crossing the river.
Okay. Right. So you mount up, cross over here, and unfortunately witness something that's quite disturbing. This here is an old sports ground, and it appears to be being used at the present. Even though you pass, what's the distance? 300 meters from it. You can see a number of bodies hanging from poles that have been erected, and there seems to be some sort of place of execution. Can you all give me sand checks, please?
No, I was waiting for that one.
Sorry, folks.
What if we're adapted to violence?
If you're adapted to violence, don't worry.
Doing pretty good.
Hawk, you're fine. Sandman, lose a point of sand.
Sorry, folks,
sorry, did you roll power, not sand? What is your sand?
Oh yes, sorry. There it is. Try again.
So Salmon, you still failed. Lose a point. Farmer passed. Hawk passed. Did Pink roll?
I think you're muted, Nick.
I have the adapted to violence.
You're adapted as well. Okay, yep,
Yeah.
okay. And then I should just roll for Jones. Where's his character gone there? Right.
Should have chosen that, shouldn't I?
Sorry,
did you see my roll?
fucking hell, yeah.
Critical.
So,
well, he's fine. He didn't even see it.
Yeah, he clearly wasn't looking.
He's reading the book.
Clearly chose not to
Yeah.
look in that direction. Right. But yes, so there are no current executions going on though, but there are a lot of. I mean, there's at least a dozen bodies strung up in various ways. It's quite a gruesome sight. And some of them, from the birds feeding on them, don't look to be that fresh.
That's pretty great.
Lovely.
Hence the sand rolls. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, right, where do you want to go? So you're on this road here. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing there. You're on this road here. Where do you want to go, please?
Well,
So they went that road, didn't they?
Yeah.
So,
We think
checking
so.
your Agent Farmer, checking your text messages. They have stopped somewhere around here.
If we're following them.
if indeed.
Do we want to?
Oh, do we
I'll
go-
let everyone know. And I'll say, are we going into Nineveh or do we want to swing by the Russians?
We could do.
The
Opportunity to talk
old-
or an opportunity to get one over on them.
You had a potential meeting with the Russians, and you decided previously to duck out and not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
One,
person
we've already gone past their warehouse, and two, the Russians are currently, as far as we know, either still at or on their way back now, I imagine, from the meeting place we set up at
Yeah.
Middle of
the
nowhere.
Ressan, whatever.
Rassan
house.
household, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
So,
So
the only person that they've actually seen is Hawk.
No,
They've
they've never,
met and spoken to.
they've never seen anyone. They've spoken.
No,
to Hawk.
never seen anyone. No,
They've spoken
they've
to
not
Hawk, and that's
Hawk.
it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, it wasn't a face to face. So yeah, it depends. It's completely up to you folks.
Seems. What's the point?
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Might
mean,
get
the point-
a face on them. We won't
Yeah.
get a face on
We've got a mission, which is to look at Nineveh
Yeah,
and to ID anything additional about the Russians, which is a secondary objective. Primary is to find out what's happening with the missing general and whether he's involved in this. So
Let's not get sidetracked.
I think you got potential of walking into an unknown and an outgunned situation inside where we're trying to keep a fairly low profile. Otherwise, I would have enjoyed shooting that bloke off the roof. And Nineveh might show us a few different angles, particularly about the Father of War.
Agent Farmer, you get another text message telling you that Colonel Jabiri's phone is pinging off a cell tower in almost exactly the same location as the Russians.
Okay, in that case you might want to check it out, but covertly.
yeah.
Well, that's us all over, isn't it? We're going like black
that does
cats in the
sound
They're
night.
very stealthy.
We'd be interested in.
Black cats in the.
Black Panther, more like Pink Panther.
Okay. Sounds like it's time for me to do my bit and dress up, put on my peasant outfit. Oh, that's the wrong word. Put my common man outfit
want
on.
us-
And,
Do you want us to swing by so we can drop you off?
shouldn't be dropped off in sight of them.
What's-
You can observe it with binoculars
Well,
or something. I'll
I
just bring it.
need to
am
be-
also fairly stealthy if we need
Okay,
an
so-
additional hand on
Did-
recon.
Ditto.
Can I
We should
make a
do this as a team.
Can I make a recommendation?
I
Yeah,
don't think we
start
should be
here.
going anywhere.
Go on.
Yeah. Go across and come down this way and drop off here. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
You can
this
go
is
through
where,
alleys.
yeah, so we're hitting the main roads, and then we're just on the side of Nineveh, because the last ping from Jilbiri was on this side of the main roads. The last time we saw the Russians was on this side of the road.
So they've got our team have got eyes in the sky of that van. Is that correct?
Correct.
So they could keep an eye for us. Perhaps I can stay on the phone with them and just live replay to them, to
Yeah.
our team, whilst everyone gets whatever they're doing ready.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
think we're coming from the north at the very least.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think that's a good option. Yeah, coming
Okay.
in from the north.
So
Looks good.
let's go to here then.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's park up.
And then potentially teams of 2 to actually try and spread out a bit.
Yeah, agree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
I do we want drivers to stay in the car, or one driver, say myself, to stay in the car?
Yeah.
Or
Well, Jones
am
will
Yeah.
I
stay.
going out?
Jones will stay
Well,
in the car.
I
Yeah.
was thinking if we're gonna do teams of 2, we could have one of our drivers, that being you, and Jones stay with the cars, and then we split up into 2 other teams of 2, me and either
So you and
Agent
Khar
I
and
think
me
either
you and
Khar,
decided.
Carl
yeah,
and me
probably
and
me and Khar. Yeah.
Okay.
Armour.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So you've got the stealth team and the distract team potentially.
To be honest, I was planning on stealth by being unobtrusive and unnoticeable rather than
Same
Okay.
here.
actually
Well,
stealthy. I've got
Yeah.
disguise, and
okay, well then I can actually, because I've
if
got
you are
that
actually
thermal sight,
stealthy,
so what I could do, yeah, is I could stealthily get to like a high up perch of some kind and kind of provide some overwatch from up top.
Problem is we don't know where you would
Yeah,
need to be.
that'll have to happen once we have a more firm idea of
Right.
Yeah.
Where are
we're
you
supposed to be
parking up the
located.
vehicles?
So
It was
somewhere around here.
Right. And you were driving up one of these 2 roads and
And then coming down.
in here. Right.
Yes.
Which one did you? I'm going to right. You go up this one. Right. So, um, uh, Agent Carl, what's your archaeology skill? You're muted, Chris.
I don't know how that happened. 20.
20. Okay.
I've got architecture, if that could be any help.
No, it's a split up. Right. Agent Carl, give me an archaeology check at plus 20.
Hold on. Oh, made it.
Okay. Right. You spot something that's instantly wrong. Or, sorry, wrong's the wrong word. Incorrect word. Something that's changed. So, Nineveh is quite open. There are various buildings here and so on, but a lot of them were very ancient ruins and stuff because it's an excavated ancient city. There was a very impressive gate here,
Okay.
literally just on the other side of the road, just this side of the road. Okay.
Yep.
Called the Mashki Gate, and that appears to have been destroyed. It's gone. Yeah, and
Okay.
what was there is
Gosh.
now a pile of rubble. Okay.
Am I right in thinking we had something about a gate somewhere?
You've got.
Or am I thinking of a ritual?
You're thinking of a ritual. You're thinking of a ritual.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. And you drive down as you drive down this road here. Sandman, what? Right. What was your awareness? Sorry.
Alertness was
Alertness.
51.
And there is also search. What's your search skill?
That is 52.
Right. Okay. No dice roll needed because it's really quite obvious. This area around here looks to be there's bits of ruins and stuff like that, but you spot a sandbagged military guard post, complete with a machine gun, and you count at least 3 men there.
Gosh. Okay.
But it doesn't appear to be guarding anything. I mean, if someone was attacking, it's got quite a wide field of fire in a city because, I mean, it's about, as you're driving down, it's about 300 meters from the road. But there are, it's sort of been placed. Actually, sorry, it's been placed sort of in an upper level of what were some probably quite important archaeological ruins.
Yep.
But there's almost like a military style. It's not quite a bunker because it's not.
It's an emplacement, isn't it?
Yeah, and you can see a machine gun pointing in this direction. There's other stuff pointing other directions you don't know, but, and you can see at least 3 men.
Okay.
And yeah.
Is there anywhere that's going to give a good view of this? I think Nineveh's a big site, isn't it, with ruins all over the place. So
there's about as you drive down the road, you spot that one of those 3 men has produced a pair of binoculars and is
looking at us
and is looking at you guys.
Quick, everybody, act natural.
Say again, sorry.
Quick, everybody, act natural.
But you drive down and then get to this here. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. Get to here, and then you start to get into. Sorry, one thing that's not apparent on this map, just to be clear, this looping bit here is actually a small river.
Oh.
Ah, right.
Okay.
Okay.
It's looking. It's something you can certainly wade across quite easily. But you drive across a little bridge here. Okay.
Right.
And as you sort of cross and then get it, all of this area here is lots of. I mean, it's not a chaotic set of houses. There are clear roads and stuff like that. But there's lots of. This is all residential around here. Yeah.
Right.
And so the moment you cross over the bridge, you get in amongst the houses. Well, as you're crossing over there, you see the guy put down his binoculars and stop paying attention to you, and then you're out of sight of him anyway. Okay.
Yeah, so sitting there taking a extended gander at the place is probably not
not that easy, but not impossible.
But you can see there's lots of houses that have a view.
Yep.
And a lot of those houses, you'd see a number of houses that are boarded up. You see houses where they were boarded up and someone has removed some of the boards. This area,
lots of potential layup points, haven't we? There,
it's definitely, and you see other houses that have got of all the most mundane things washing out on a line. Yeah, it's
life goes on.
Yeah, it's that weird sort of duality of war where it's some of it looks like it's a war zone and some of it looks really quite normal.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the neighborhood's getting shot up, but the laundry does still need to get dried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are people. Now, your two vehicles looking like something fairly important from Desh. So civilians tend to sort of avoid you and are ducking into buildings and stuff like that. So as you drive down the road, people on the street tend to sort of duck into alleyways or get out of sight or get out of your way. Okay. Now, sorry, there's various side roads. Did you want to get down onto this main road here, or were you turning before that? I wasn't sure.
Turning before that we're going to about somewhere around here-ish.
So parking amongst the
That's
houses
where-
here.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah.
Because that's where Jabiri was, and the Russians were down here in these houses.
No, they were here.
No,
I
they were
think.
here. So they were here.
I'm sorry, this is a very bad moment. I've got
on
to,
the line.
it's a very bad moment. I've got to pop away 5 minutes. Sorry.
Okay.
That was
Right. So, so the way you're deploying, so you're parking up. Jones and is it Hawk is staying with the vehicles,
I believe so.
Yeah.
yeah.
and then one team is so right.
One pair is Farmer and Sandman.
Yeah.
And then you've got Khar and Pink together. haven't you?
And Pink, were you actually going to go as a pair with him, or did you want to try and find some high
Yeah,
ground?
I'm gonna try and find some high ground. Because Khar did express that he could infiltrate by himself, and I believe him. I trust
Okay.
in Khar's skills.
What's your search skill, please?
My search skill is 23.
Right. Give me a search check.
Absolutely.
Sorry, at plus 20. At plus 20.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't give the plus 20 to that, but it still didn't matter because I
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's still
need
a
it.
fumble. Okay.
Yep.
Right. You go off trying to find a building that's got some high ground. There's lots of houses. There are some higher buildings. You go and try and find one to get into something a bit that's got a bit of height on it. And in amongst the sort of twists and turns of houses and stuff, you get yourself a bit lost,
Oh, goody.
and you're not entirely sure where you are in relation to where you left the vehicles. Okay, we'll come back to you. You'll have a mobile phone on you at the very least for comms.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you're carrying your AK, etc.
Yes, I have full kit.
Farmer and Sandman, where do you wish to go?
To be honest, we just want to start find one of the cell towers which Jabiri was pinging from.
Okay.
And then work our way to the next one and so on, and basically create that triangulation and start winding inwards, unless we get a text saying that that Jabiri's moved elsewhere.
So you're trying to do a physical grid search of the ground, where in the area, trying to look for something that's a bit odd, or you're
I would look for. We're trying to look for Jabiri.
Jabiri, potentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think he's still got his phone with him, but it might not be.
Right.
Yeah, it might not be him, but
you right. Give me a search check. Sorry, what's your two search skills? Sorry.
Mine is 50, and mine's 52.
And what was Tom? Did you say 42?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Both of you can roll, but at minus 20.
How many?
minus 20.
Minus 20.
Goodness. Harsh.
Oh.
Well, if it's anything like the rest of the rolls, I'm sure it won't go that well.
No.
Right.
That's a shame.
You don't find Jabiri at all.
Right.
But you do come across something that's interesting. it's actually sort of you've wandered quite a distance trying to you're almost sort of on the far extent of where it could be, and it's actually it's obscured by this label here, but about
Hang on a minute.
here,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
you spot a house that has an armed guard outside. Okay, and what's interesting, particularly with the armed guard, is I mean he's in full military fatigues. Yeah.
Okay.
He
So he's ex-army.
he's definitely well equipped. He's in full. He's actually got desert camo. So sort of
Is it Iraqi army
No.
fatigues he's wearing?
right. You would
I-
recognise.
We've seen quite a lot of them, haven't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah, I only asked because Jabiri was Iraqi army.
Yeah. This is definitely not Jabiri.
Yeah, but if it's still his...
No, you would say it's an old pattern of Soviet era, probably
Desert gear.
Afghan war era.
Okay, 1990s.
That was that. Yeah, Afghan war era camo, but with a much more modern, what's called a lift chest harness, chest rig with magazines and so on. And the guy is well equipped. He's got full on. I mean, he's got additional pouches for magazines. He's got several grenades. He's got a sidearm. He's got he's got a radio.
Goodness.
Yeah, and he's on guard outside this building. Now, the other thing is he does not look to be Arabic at all. From an Arabic, he's not
Arabic extraction, I
not
think.
an Arabic extraction. Do you have? Just want to get the right skill. Bear with me a sec.
A few minutes.
Do you have the anthropology skill?
Nope.
Oh yeah, I've always gone after that. Got 10%.
More than me.
You've got 10% in anthropology.
Oh, hang on a minute. That's accounting. Apologies. That's a shame. I can tell how many there are of him. There's one.
Yeah.
It's currently.
Right. You can't work out an ethnic origin from looking at him. He looks he is not of Arabic extraction. He could well probably be of some kind of probably European extraction. But then, I mean, most Americans are technically of European extraction. So
Yeah.
But yeah. And he seems to be on guard outside this building, and you two sort of come walking past. And
That's all right.
And
See what his reaction is.
He watches you, but doesn't appear to act aggressively or anything like that.
Yeah, I want to basically just keep
Would
on
we
going.
question him because he looked European?
Well, there are foreign fighters here.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, I imagine probably the locals would probably give him a good look up and down, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we speak to the locals as we go past him. I say, don't engage with him. Just
has he got a beard?
Oh yeah, full on, bushy beard. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll let Khar know and get him to speak to the locals about this guy.
Right,
Okay.
note which house it is. Is that there's not numbers on the door, but kind of
Yeah. Sorry.
its position. And I think head on down the street.
In terms of the house, it is quite a sizable one.
Yeah.
And in a block, there's a lot of small houses around. It's probably significantly the biggest in the area. And as you're walking past, Sandman, you spot there's a second sentry at a window higher up, covering a
So they've got a bit
different angled approach to the
different
block.
angle. So they've got an overwatch position, haven't they?
Yeah. So this guy you spotted outside is covering the front door, but
Yeah.
there's a guy in a higher window covering another side.
If we'll just carry on down the street,
Yeah.
I think.
Swing
And
around.
I think it just deserves go. You know, is it? Is there another place, another way in potentially? Well, they've probably got that covered as well. I'd like to think, but you never know.
Well, let's leave you two for a moment, and let's cut to Agent Khar. So, Agent Khar, um, uh, Sandman and Farmer have gone off to try and find just try and see if they can spot Jabiri on the street or anything, and have gone wandering around, almost like a sort of a ground grid search, wandering around just to see what they can find out and so on and spot. Agent Pink has gone to try and find higher ground to cover you. Yeah.
Okay.
And where did you want to go? What did you want to do?
Kind of want to do what those two are doing, but
Well, there's also the Russian vehicle.
okay, yeah, I'll walk past those. I'll wander around a bit.
Okay.
Beg for money.
Sorry,
Kind of.
are you right? Okay. Are you wandering around carrying your AK? Are you looking like a Daesh soldier? Are you looking like? Are you trying to pose as a refugee who's starving, who's looking for handouts, or what are you trying to
Yeah,
do?
I think a refugee who's starving who's looking for handouts.
So you've left your AK, and have you just like
Yep.
concealed your pistol inside your
Yes.
yeah? Okay. Okay. So you've
I
left
think
all that.
if a large number of us start wandering around the place looking like Daesh fighters, I think that might stand out a bit. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go wander around the place, asking people if they got work.
Okay. What is your search skill, please?
Not the best. 20. Bit lame.
You're asking people for work. Okay.
I don't really want to get work.
No.
So possibly avoid places that have actually got signs saying "Help Wanted."
Right. Give me a
Search is fine. I can do that.
give me a search check, please.
That's a definite no.
No. Okay. Right. Okay. You wander around, and you get pushed and shoved a couple of times by. There are other Daesh people around here, and you get pushed and shoved a couple of times by some people, and avoided by a lot of people. Uh, um,
Good. So I'm beneath notice. That's what I'm going
yes.
for.
Some man who thinks you're going to try to steal through food starts throwing some stones at you and drive you away and stuff like that. But so you wander around a bit without managing to spot anything, but you do manage to work your way round to the one fixed point, which is this Russian vehicle parked on this street, this minibus.
Okay. Yeah, sounds
And
good.
You can see that right. You've got a very high human score, don't you?
Yeah. Well,
So
77 seems like
sorry, what was it?
77.
77. Yes, that's very high.
That's good.
Right. So you spot the minibus, and it is actually a minibus, and there are three men in it, as well as the driver and the passenger, there's also one person in the back. And they appear to be doing something similar to what you're doing, but staying in their vehicle. They appear to be taking in the lay of the land, and they what strikes you as peculiar is you approach it from the vehicle from the rear, and the man in the back appears to be talking but not looking at anyone he's talking. He's sat and he's looking backwards, back sort of the way they've obviously driven up and parked, and he's chatting to his two companions, and they seem to be chatting and wait, what do you want to do? Do you want to walk past his vehicle? Do you want to avoid his vehicle? What do you want to do?
No, I want to walk right past it.
Okay, so
I'm contemplating trying to steal the alloys off it, but I think that might be a bit step too far.
they carry on chatting.
Plan the tires.
They carry on chatting to each other as you approach, and they keep you in sight, but you would say they've dismissed you as irrelevant, not their target. Okay, or not the person they're looking for, not the type of person they're looking for. Yeah.
What angle is the sun at?
Sorry?
What angle is the sun at?
Quite high, because it's probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so there's a bit of shade from the bus.
Yeah.
I'll sit in the shade created by the bus.
Okay.
I want to provoke a reaction so that the others can see how they act.
Okay. Right.
I just slumped down, exhausted.
Yep. I'm going to cut away from you for a sec. Agent Pink.
Yes.
You were trying to find high ground and got yourself completely lost.
Oh dear.
Indeed,
oh,
I did.
I know that now.
No, that's why you don't know this. It's perfect. So, give me another. Give me.
There's just one little thing. Can I just cut in before that? I will take the opportunity before anyone reacts to that, just to use my own throat mic to inform Farmer that there's likely to be a source of radio transmissions here, and then switch mine off.
Ooh,
Okay. Sorry, are you all wearing throat mics then?
I assumed we were.
I thought we were.
Were or weren't?
Were.
Okay. Yeah,
well,
that's fine. I had
the full.
Should have
Yeah.
clarified that
Yeah.
beforehand. Sorry.
No. It's fine to be wearing them. I just wasn't sure. I've lost track myself. Okay. Right.
The earpieces are hidden. I've got a head. Head thing.
Got head scarf
Andy,
and neck scarf and all that.
Andy, just so you know, you don't have to touch the throat mic to activate it. A lot of them come with thumb presses.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't actually have to do that. Okay.
Yep.
That's the
Certainly.
movie thing.
Yep.
Possibly, actually, I just had an idea. Wait a second.
Right.
Carry on.
Yeah. Right. Agent Pink.
Yes.
You've got yourself a bit lost in these.
I have.
In this sort of slightly confusing set of alleys and houses and stuff like that.
Everything looks the same.
Yes. Can you, your choice of a search or a survival check to try and sort of reorientate yourself?
Survival, I'll take. I have a 50 in that.
Okay. I will require a roll though.
Yep. Any modifiers?
Nope.
Okay. Failure.
Right.
I'm still lost. But luckily, not a flub. So.
Yeah, you are. If this makes sense, you're less lost than you were.
Right.
Okay.
I recognize like a couple of the buildings I've passed by 2 or 3 times.
What you've managed to find is this main road here. You're now on this main road here, but
Alright.
you've not found the rest of your team, and you're not entirely sure of the exact route back to the vehicles. Okay?
Right.
Right. Agent Khar, you slumped down.
As it happens, Andy, I'm just looking this up to be exact, and I'm not quite sure what time of year this is taking place. But in actual fact, you say it's 3 o'clock. If it's 3 o'clock exactly, then the call to prayer is going out. In which case, I have an excellent excuse for staying in the shade of their.
Oh, that's a good one. So it's today
Yeah.
is Tuesday. No, that was the. Yeah. This is still the day you'd planned to meet with the Russian team, isn't it?
Actually, yeah. Actually, to be honest, Andy, this is a bit. It changes every day. I don't know what it was like in 2016. It might be. It might not be. If we were playing a game with preparedness, I might have said we timed this, but yeah, okay. Maybe I just slumped down then. Let's not go there.
It's the 12th of April, 2016, and I think it's the day that the bulk of the Russian team is still on the way to the meet because the meet's supposed to be at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay. You slump down, and that prompts the driver of the minibus to sort of turn and look at you, and
I wasn't even registered there's people in the minibus.
Right, you get a pretty good look at him though, and he quite sorry, where's my mouse gone? Quite a big quite a big man with a beard. In fact, I'm going to show you a picture.
Exciting.
Did that turn up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did.
And he sort of turns and then and just sort of glares at you. Are you just staying there?
Well, as I say, I'm going to barely acknowledge there's anyone in the bus.
Okay. After about 30 seconds, he turns, starts the engine, and then turns round in the road and drives 100 meters back the way you walked from.
Okay, well, as soon as the shade's gone, I'll get up and move off.
But he moves
on my way.
and he tries to sort of park up the way you came from.
Okay. Well, I've got to look at him, and any nuances from the way he drives, I'll try and pick up on that. Didn't get much out of that one. I was hoping they were going to come out and shout at me.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Let's cut back to Farmer and Sandman. So you found this building with a very obvious, well-equipped armed guard at the front, and then at least one guard covering another angle in a window. If you want to try and scout on the rest of it, then you're running increased risks of being obvious as doing something odd.
Yeah.
No, I think we were going to like swing around so we don't go past them again, and just let Khar know about this place to sit as bit like. Does anyone know know anything about it. I'll let him do his thing.
Okay.
I'll also let the team back at base know about it as well.
Okay. They have got a drone over the top of the Russian.
Yeah, I think that might be a secondary interest now. Maybe we should be moving it here.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're
so it's
asked, do you want to reprioritize the drone that's literally on site, so it's looking at this building instead?
Yeah.
I think that's a good shout.
Okay. Okay.
I love the American military spending budget.
Yes.
Do they actually have a cap? You know, do they just
No.
Found it yet?
They don't.
Yeah.
They really don't. They
Right.
should. They really should, but they don't.
It's your tax dollars, dude.
Right. Okay. And then are you two then working your way back to the vehicle, or are you going to do something else?
Yes.
Okay.
Working our way back on a different route, still looking for Algebari, because you
Okay.
never know.
Yeah, because you don't know where he is, but there's potential he's sitting in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. One of you roll me a luck. One of you roll me a luck check, please.
Without stat checking.
That's just
Yeah.
50. That's 50 or lower.
There you go.
Good man.
Okay. You get back
Complete
to the
failure.
you get back to the vehicles. Absolutely no problems, but you don't find Pink.
Where the hell is he?
He's very
Oh my god, he's dead.
right.
Guys, where is everyone?
Yeah, we've now established you've got a radio, so you could actually ask for help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll finally cave in and be like, and say, "This is Pink. I am not in position. Repeat, not in position. In fact, I am unsure as to my general location right now. There is road. I see big road. That's about it."
Right.
Big road.
We
Okay.
won't need to go through it, but you
Yeah.
are now navigated back to the vehicles.
Yeah.
See that the slightly taller building with the blue wall. That's where you want to head for, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
Khar, do you want
Yes.
to go and have a walk past this building with the armed guard?
Yeah, better rad. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Right. Have you got any anthropology skill?
Yes, I have some. 60.
660.
Yes.
That's quite a lot.
I wouldn't
That's
describe
not
that
just
as some.
Yeah,
That
that's
might
very
be your
proficient.
speciality.
Human intelligence
it
and
makes
anthropology
sense.
are my things.
Okay, right.
Yeah, it makes
It's my
sense.
favourite thing.
You don't need to make a dice roll. Okay.
Ever.
You walk past this guard, and you are 99% certain that he's not just any random foreign fighter. You're pretty certain from the gear, the skin complexion, and so on, he is a Chechen, and he's probably a member of some Chechen
Nursery group.
Well, probably not mercenaries. The Chechens and a lot of the Middle Eastern militant groups actually work together quite a bit. They cross-train at each other's facilities and such.
Oh, did not know that.
Yeah, it's there's a very big Islamic community in Eastern Europe that the Russian
huge.
government has tried to suppress quite heavily, and so a lot of the Middle Eastern militant groups send assistance and cross-training back and forth between the two groups. Also because both sides hate the Russians, and
yeah, I knew there was a large Muslim community. Didn't realize they did the cross training.
with certain and it's just as it is in the Middle East. There's lots of militant groups, not like Chechen rebel groups. Not all of them like each other. Not all of them, they're backed by 20 different other foreign powers. You know.
Yeah.
The usual.
Right. Okay. Okay. So you spot that.
Yep.
Now. Sorry. What's what? Right. I want a sort of knowledge skill check from Khar, but I'm trying to think what skill would be appropriate for you to know about Chechen groups working as part of Daesh.
Human to anthropology.
Military science.
Yeah.
There's military science, and I've got no idea.
No, but you might be able to reference. Right. Are you passing this across the radio?
Yeah, sure. Once I'm safely out of the way.
Right. So, you can now give me. So, Khar, you can do me an anthropology check at -20. Okay. Um.
I've
Who's got military science? Military
I've
science
got military
land.
science. I got military science land.
I've got
As do
land.
I.
Right.
Yeah, picking me.
51.
Sorry. So 51. What levels have you got?
40 for me.
60 for me.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Between you guys who are in a group, that doesn't require dice roll. Did you succeed? Yes, you did. Okay, so actually you're able to identify this. There is a very prominent Chechen group that is known to be serving with Daesh and in the Mosul region, and they are called. The Wolves of the Wolves of Al Mansur, and they are led.
I've not heard of them.
Sorry,
I've not heard of them.
I think there has been. I think there may have been a mention of them already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Mhm.
I couldn't remember whether I'd mentioned them or not.
Yeah, certainly
So
have.
hence the dice roll. They're led by someone called Colonel Abu Al Shishini. God, I'm mispronouncing that. I will put that in the chat. Who is better known as Abu the Chechen.
Mm.
And they're known to be a very well-trained, well-organized, well-led military unit.
Oh joy.
And Agent Khar, you're certain that that's one of them.
Yep. Okay. Am I aware of their loyalties?
Well, that's a very good question. You have heard, with your background, you have heard rumors that they are they came to Islamic State to fight and to join Daesh and fight. They are. You have heard some rumors that they are not very impressed with how disorganized certain elements and petty infighting certain elements are of the Islamic State that's being created. They're a bit sort of possibly idealists who are a bit disappointed. I'm sure you've got something, another mention of them somewhere, and I can't remember where.
I think we have as well in a briefing.
Yeah. I can't find it. Yeah.
Rings a bell.
It's
One of the briefing signs, sure.
Let's not dwell on it too long.
Don't
What
worry
do you
about
want
that.
to do with this information? What have we got around the ruins then? So we've got this house, which is where we think the colonel is. That right?
Yep.
That's
based on well, you've been one. He is somewhere in the area. All you can get is a location of a cell tower that he is connected to. That's what you can get from his phone. If he was on his phone, I believe then I believe that someone with a high computer skill and appropriate equipment, which Agent Farmer might well have, could attempt to try and pinpoint a location, but he would need to be on a phone, and you'd be triangulating and stuff, probably on a phone and moving round.
Yeah.
What do you wish to do?
quick conflab, I think.
So you heading back to the vehicle?
I think.
Check we're not being
I'll
fired.
go via checking the ruins from the outside as well.
Sorry, the ruins of
Nineveh. We haven't really looked at those yet.
Okay. So you spotted a checkpoint about here before.
That's right. So anything on the south side now?
Yeah. You spot. Sorry, I need to find my map. Right. So there's a bridge crossing the river here.
Yep.
That is has a pair of armed guards on it, and they are more Chechens.
Okay. 6 months ago, before all this blew up, so to speak, kicked off, would they have kept guards here? Would they have bothered?
No, not in the slightest.
Okay, right.
But
definitely, this is definitely essentially where things are happening, and also the fact that these well-trained Chechens being accused. Something's happening here. We need to find out what.
And also, and this is something that will kind of, when you've actually already said it as a player, but will certainly occur to the people with the military science.
Yep.
These are proper these are some of the best troops they have.
Fighters.
They're some of the best troops they have. You wouldn't have them sitting away from the front lines for any length of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Particularly as the place is being gradually.
No, I think we have the drone definitely. I actually personally would like to see the drone around the ruins of Nineveh itself, and particularly, has it got any night vision capability? This drone?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'd like to know what happens in there around there at night.
Okay, so you're gonna
now, guys. I don't know, you might disagree with me, but I'm beginning to wonder if these people, I think that's my view. I think we might see some interesting activity around there at night. Specifically, you might see people who are going missing being brought into this area.
I think you're
The
probably
Chechens
right.
are. We know the Chechens are as competent as, they're the best ones there.
right.
It's the fact that the young men were the ones that were inducted into the Father of War's army, but he was using it through persuasion more than fear. Is that right?
Sorry, say that again. Apologies.
Going back to like the reports and all the stuff that we read up about the Father of War, it was an honor to be serving in the Father of War's army. Is that correct?
Yes, and
Okay.
what I think particularly Agent Hawk had spotted was that there seemed to be a pattern in the initial sort of attacks and people going missing, and there were butchered bodies found. Is that the people that were missing generally to be sort of younger males of fighting age?
Mm.
If you remember from the video we watched at the very start, that when when it emerged, it demanded worship me kneel. So presumably
People have started doing that.
people that do that are recruited, at least if they're the right type of people.
Yeah, which is, I
Which
think,
means
Are
we
they
want to
recruited or
act fairly
conscripted?
soon.
Are they recruited or conscripted or both?
Sorry. So
yeah, but yeah, okay. So is the conscription actually of a more possessive type nature?
there's a message here. Sorry, the walls of Al Mansur are mentioned on the 3rd bullet point here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That did pop up.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
That's yeah. Okay. So
Didn't
that's
get anything.
you didn't get anything.
What
B.
was that? No, yeah.
It's the intel report about Al Jabiri, the 3rd bullet point.
Sorry,
Thank you.
it's because I already had it. I
Okay.
already had it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
yeah.
that was over a week ago. So he's had these guys here for over a week then.
It's more like 3 weeks. It's the no. Well, that was on the 27th of March.
Yeah, so I've lost the current day.
It's now the 12th of April.
Oh, it was nearly 3 weeks ago then. 2.5 weeks, yeah.
So yeah. So definitely something odd there. Yeah. Okay. Right.
So he doesn't want anybody poking around. He's got a high level of guard, lots of people being brought in to continue the amount of followers being converted.
Okay.
Doing right general investigation, Andy. But by continuing my guise as a refugee, could I manage to find out when the arch at the front was brought down, and when these burly foreigners were brought into Nineveh?
Right.
And
Going in chat.
have they been destroying more of the idolatrous ruins within?
So going and befriending some of the locals here. These aren't contacts. This is you just chatting.
No, that's what I do.
Yeah. So the Mashki Gate was actually only destroyed 2 days ago.
2 days.
2 days.
Right.
The 10th of April,
Okay.
and it was it was actually quite a sort of plant lots of explosives on it, quite possibly too much, and blow it up. And actually, when you go back and have a little bit of a look further at it, you can see damage on some of the nearby houses where debris has struck a number of houses. Okay.
Amateurish.
Sorry?
Amateurish.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, I would have been able to tell you that from the architecture and the facts and the demolition skill I've got.
Sorry, apologies. When you were driving past, I was assuming you were looking at the guard
Just
post and stuff like that. Not
for the road.
I did mention architecture.
The timeline's interesting. Have they been doing more demolitions in there in recent weeks?
No. That's the first thing that they actually have started to destroy.
Okay.
They've been knocking things down, and
And can I find out when these sketchy foreigners came here?
right.
I take a guess it was about 3 weeks ago, but we can corroborate that.
No, but what you do get is about 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a big load of shooting, sort of a big firefight in the middle of the somewhere in the middle-ish of the ruins.
Wow. Okay.
That was in the original briefing, I believe.
Yeah. So in the original briefing, where's it
That's
gone?
true. Yes.
In the original briefing, so this document here, on the 30th of March, so it's about 2 weeks ago, there was an intense firefight in the demolished ruins of Nineveh. So sorry, I'm wrong. There have been some bits.
Oh, right.
There have already been some demolitions already.
And Al Jabiri, or the
yeah,
police
this is
away.
where Al Jabiri's name came from.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. I think we've got some leads to go on with.
Okay. What do you want to do from there? Are you?
Feels like to have a look inside what's going on in Nineveh, but
Yeah, I think we need to do a bit of possible infiltration.
Okay.
I mean, there's the house as well.
So you've got this house. You've got the. So there's the house. There is the. There's the actual ruins itself. Were you talking about going to the university and looking around that bit as well, or were you not?
I think you had some contacts up that way, didn't you? Khar.
Yeah, I think I probably have. Yeah.
Do we want to tap them up for anything?
I mean, possibly as a background activity, Andy. We might want to tap them up actually, just to find out about the Mosul battalions and any further information to fill in any gaps, or if I can get any more interesting facts out of it. I don't know if it's something you want to go into depth onto.
Right. It's more. I mean, we're coming close to the end of the session because it's nearly 10 o'clock. So it's more just what do you want to, or should we leave it there with you deciding what you're going to do next, and we'll have a little discussion offline and work out.
May have Bruce back as well, mightn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
I expect he'd want to go and have a look in Nineveh. He's a combat archaeologist after all.
Archaeologist is very much his specialty.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you've got a couple of armed guards on the bridge over the that bridge over the river. You've got.
But one thing was we could drive up to Mosul University, and then we could check out and find out if this is a 360-degree cordon they've got set up around the place. Is there another one of these? There are more guards on the north and more guards on the east side of it.
Right.
Yeah,
so
it's not like we're driving around the place, because we're driving in different parts of it at different times of the day. So with a bit of luck, they won't pick it up. But then if they're good, they might.
Where do you want to drive? Which route, please?
So let's see if I get the so we're down here, aren't we?
You're currently parked up here.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll drive to here, then up this way, past passing up here.
Yeah.
Then.
So you're going back up this road, okay?
Yes.
Past the demolished
along
gate.
here, where we should get a view of what's over here, and then up towards the university. Yeah.
Okay.
So
driving back around there, and with various, I know you guys. There are amongst you people with very good observation skills. You spot another, not checkpoint, but almost sort of machine gun position. Yeah. And then second.
I was going to say now that we know what we're looking for, are they Chechen as well, or are they locals?
The ones who are here are not Chechens.
Yeah.
The ones who are here are.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got.
And then you spot another. So there's a couple of men here. It's not a fortified position, but there's a vehicle parked up on the road here, sort of just parked up, and that's got that has several men. 3, maybe 4 men, and they also don't look to be Chechens.
So where I've marked up the 3 blue circles.
No, this one would be about here.
Yeah. Oh, down there. Okay.
And then there's also one about here. There's a machine gun position there, a machine gun position about that area there. Sorry, I can move.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I click on that?
If you just delete them off, because I can't delete them, unfortunately.
Right, I'll sort it out. Don't worry. I will get you a slightly better map as well, probably.
Yeah.
These things are a nuisance.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah.
probably that's
I
10 o'clock. That's a
think-
good point to leave it with you.
Yeah.
Sort of driving around up the north here somewhere.
Yeah. But the thing is,
With the
I
recce.
feel that there is things I should be doing in character. I should be doing at university, but I don't necessarily think they're things we want to go into detail with for a whole session. I think probably they'd be dull for everyone else, and I doubt I'm going to get very much useful information out of it. So can we do a sort of abbreviated version of it? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you think it's important.
Let's talk about it between sessions and work out.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Right. Let's leave it there though. B, sorry you didn't get to do very much in that session. I do apologise.
It's all good.
Yeah, this was a very well lively one for me.
Yes. Right. Okay. Thanks for anyone watching. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be another session. Another episode in a couple of weeks' time. But I hope you enjoyed this, and we will speak to you. We will record another session in a couple of weeks' time, and hopefully people will be watching it as well. Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
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 Bye.